how do you define reality? This is a really significant question because it shapes who we are and how we behave. It has a really large scientific standard in how we operate as a human race. I mean, Albert Einstein, as regarded as one of the smartest people in the world, this was his main question: is how do you really define the universe and put it into an equation of sorts? It also is very deep in the philosophical realm and affects how we interact with each other as a culture. To start out with, Oxford defines reality as existence that is absolute, self-sufficient, or objective, and not subject to human decisions or conventions. This kind of contradicts itself, because that means that even though we say that it's not subject to human decisions, that we as humans are defining it, making that a decision. So that's kind of where everything starts to fall apart. But one of the main things that define reality is a thing called the Standard Model. It is a collection of energies, the strong force, the weak force, which are two things that nuclear atoms interact with, electromagnetic pull, and gravity. The main thing being here is gravity. Sounds kind of weird, but gravity, there's no boson for it. A boson is a carrier of those energies. Technically, gravity shouldn't exist, yet we perceive it. So we know it exists. We know it. It's a fact. If I drop something, it'll fall. This begs the question: is a blind man reality different than a seeing man? He can't prove that light exists because he can't perceive it. We can prove light exists because we perceive it. Does that mean that he lives in a different reality just because he trusts that we know what light is and that it exists? I think that it's more of kind of like how in a looking glass, or through the looking glass, that the reality, it's more or less the same. There's just details that are different through perception. The fireplace was still a thing, but the chess pieces can move, and that's kind of all with the perception of the atlas. Yeah. This solution is that reality is defined by the vessel that perceives it. This meaning kind of like this political cartoon, the whole I see 6, I see 9. Neither of them are wrong. The way that we see reality is what we hold true through our facts and our logic is our reality. It's just how it is. This is limited by the human incessant desire for knowledge. No matter what, I believe that one day there will be a unified reality through the use of many technological sensors. And at MIT, through Source B, they have this really cool lab with the whole sensors and being able to see stuff in real time that is happening. The only missing link is being able to get that everywhere and everyone having a way to access that and use that. Understanding this viewpoint of reality is what we think it is. This can also kind of transcend philosophical and scientific implications and go to more of a social way, where if everyone kind of understood that, I feel like the world might be a little bit of a nicer place. We're excited.
Okay, Alex, one question for you. What evidence did you gather that you didn't use, and why did you choose not to use it?
I gathered the evidence about birds being able to detect magnetic fields. And that was also one of the sources. I kind of forgot about that. And I didn't use that because I felt like that didn't work as well as a blind person, because those birds perceive something else that maturity doesn't. So I just felt like it didn't fit as well as it did with blind man not perceiving light, which is something that practically every living organism can see.
Thank you.